Good evening. Tonight, I'll be working on the last institution, that's the institution of school. We went through church, government, business, clinic, home, and now we're going through the institution of school, which is one of the more important institutions, because once the institution of school is established, it's the science of how you take information and pass it on for the progressive development of your people and your family. It's the collection and disseminating information. Now, most of the people out here, most of us who've gone to college, and we thought sitting up in a white man's school that he was going to educate us. We didn't know he had a trick for us. He taught, his agenda was to teach you to be a cheap labor hand, ignorant consumer, a military personnel, a damn hamburger flipper, and a murderer, and a thief, and a killer. That's his whole thing. I don't care about people saying, I got a college degree, I got this. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing he can't take from you whenever he get ready. Look at Trump. All them people in the Department of Education thought they had something. Trump shut it down. You ain't got, all the people that working for the DEI department thought they had something. All of them got degrees and all that, and Trump shut it down. And none of them with all their knowledge know how to reestablish that department. And let a fool come and shut them down. But you got a degree. What does it mean? You got a degree, and yet you don't know how to run a home, you don't know how to run a business, you don't know how to run a clinic, see, and you don't know how to run your government, but you got a degree. Mm-hmm. But it ain't the degree that helps you, it's a degree that make you continue to be a slave. If you take the best of us with the most prolific degree, I tell you, it won't enable you to do nothing in America, not by yourself. So let's take a look at the institution of school.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
What you're saying, does it have anything to do with the channel? CHATTEL?
Chattel. Like chattel slavery?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's what we are. To them, because look, anytime a man can go in the office and shut down DDI, they'll tell you, he ain't thinking about you nowhere.
So we channel.
You chattel slavery. And yet, hey, Ted, and you know what we do? And we try to be the best slave on the damn farm.
Hey, Ted.
How you be the best slave? Because I tell master everything.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him everything. I tell on anybody to get so he can climb up the so-called ladder. But what they don't understand, there ain't nothing but earth, and all you can ever be on this planet is a man. You ain't gonna never, and that's if you rise to the man's status. You might even rise to the man's status. But that's the best you're gonna be on this earth. Because you'll be a slick, smooth Uncle Tom and the squirrel on your own people, that don't make you important. And here's what we do. We see the offices, like political offices, right? Mm-hmm. And we run for those, and we become a councilman, we become a mayor, and we walk around in the black neighborhood with a suit on. Like, nigga ought to have some overalls on down at the thing, you know, planting potatoes and stuff. We walk around with a suit on, trying to impress people for sexual privileges, mind you, for sexual privileges and financial bonuses. But to be an educated man. See, the first thing an educated man knows that the white man can't give him nothing. Mm-hmm. Because if God ain't give it to him, he know it ain't his.
That's true.
See what I'm saying, Ted?
Right.
God has given every good and perfect gift. If God ain't gave you nothing, it ain't yours no way.
Right.
See? And we walk around, yeah, you know, I'm a big Uncle Bubba guy. Man, don't get me started. I'm telling you.
Did you know why they call those hush puppies?
Hush puppies.
Because
You know
they will, the slaves will ball up the cornbread in little balls and feed them to the dogs so they can escape.
Yeah, so
That's
the
why they
dogs
call
won't
hush
bark.
puppies. So that's why they call hush
Hey,
puppies.
that's
How
interesting.
about that?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I read that, Black History.
Yeah. That's all right. I learned something. I just learned something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Hush,
sense.
brother.
I even heard that they would braid their hair, and that would be like a map to show them, you know,
The
how
way.
to,
Oh, wow.
I
when
ain't
they
got something.
escape. Yeah.
And then, with these Negroes, they can't even make no money.
Yeah.
I mean-
people.
Our people were smart. Our
Yeah,
people
that was
were
smart, man. They got out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
So,
They did.
so, how do you raise your child to run these institutions? See, that's education. And they don't teach you, and the
No.
first time y'all seen this was in here.
Uh-huh.
You can't tell me you seen it somewhere else, because I know you didn't.
No.
Showed it.
No. No.
They don't teach you how to run your church. You copy off of their church.
Mm-hmm.
And their church ain't never taught you nothing good about yourself. You go there, sit up with white folks, think you got a free ride to heaven, and you don't. And you don't.
No.
And the same people you call yourself worshiping with, they went out this last election and voted for Trump.
Yeah.
And that's your friend.
Mmm.
You teach a child how to run government. You teach him how to run his business, how to run his clinic, how to run his home, and how to run his school. Now that's all a school does, to teach the running of these institutions. But you ain't seen none of this in your curriculum.
No.
None of it in your curriculum. So now, how do you learn how to go into the earth to do for yourself? With his curriculum, you will never learn that. A friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, come to me. We worked together. He majored in business. So I said, "Hey, Mr. X," I call him X because, you know. I said, "Hey, Mr. X," I said, "You majored in business, and at college they taught you business." I said, "Did they teach you how to go into the earth to get the raw material to make the product?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, hell, you don't know business."
Right.
Because that's all he do. Go into the earth, get some done a lot, and make a stand, make car keys, make stuff. Everything you see above the ground come from the ground. So the science by which the ground give up the product, he knows that, or he stole it from you. He stole it from, because we was doing it way before he was.
Yeah.
But then when he got us over here in this diaspora, he wouldn't educate us. See, we was in a strange diaspora. If we was back in Africa, we know how to do all of that stuff. But once we got here, he separated us. We couldn't talk to each other because we couldn't communicate. And he didn't educate us to do nothing but go to the field to pick his damn plants, and make money for him. But to do it for ourselves, he never did taught us that. And little we learned in slavery, we used it after slavery to sharecrop. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, school. It teaches the science of home, how to reprogram with family, science of business, teach how to take care of yourself and provide for your needs, teaches the science of the church, teach you how to reconcile with each other, teach you how to government, teach you how to establish order, and teach you how to run your clinic to clean up your character defects. That's what school's supposed to do. Now there's an elementary section of school, and that teach you about all the elements in the universe. All the elements in the universe. That's what elementary school means. That you study all the elements in the universe and know how every element intersect with each other. And you know what the best element is to take when you're sick? You see, when I was young, living down in Alabama, Mama used to send us out to the garden and say, "Give me a little of this, a little of that." And we got that, we come back here. We malted it up, and she put it in a tea. Or she took corn shucks. Y'all never heard of that. Took corn shucks, shuck the corn, and take the shucks and put them and boil them into a tea. And we drank the tea. And if we had a cold, it cleared us up. Now you go to the doctor, he give you a damn pill that don't clear nothing up but cause something else to happen. See, we knew we were smarter before we went to his institution. And went to his institution and learned how to be a damn slickster and a robber. That's all he taught us. That's all he told us. I bet you anybody who got a college degree, sit them down and ask them what their major was. Ask them what their major, what was your major? And then go into it with them. Well, tell me how you do this. Let me tell you, case in point. When I graduated from college, I went back home. And my mama, she said, well, Ernie, you graduate now, and get you a big guy. I thought I was in that, in that box. I said, yeah, damn, I got my little diploma. She said, what can you do? I said, Mama, I majored in sociology. She said, oh, okay, that sounds good. What can you do? I said, well, Ma, a sociologist defines the dealings of society and how to change trends and stuff like that. She said, you mean talking? I said, yes, ma'am, we talk. She said, hell, you was talking before you left home. What can you do? Can you pave highways? Can you run electric lines? Can you build cities? What can you do? And my mama minded, she didn't have nothing but an 8th grade education. But she shot my guns out of my hand because when I looked around and realized I wasn't trained and educated to do anything. Then I pulled back on the knowledge of Booker T. Washington, how he argued with DuBois, and Washington said, throw down your bucket where you are. And E.B. Du Bois said, no, go to college with them and learn what they know. And Washington said, no, throw down your bucket where you are and learn a skill where you are. What I found out was the guys who said the hell with college but went on to develop a skill wind up making way more, starting their own businesses than all these folks went to college. Listen, man, listen. And I'll say it again. I think I said in another couple of workshops. All the master degrees and all the PhDs and all the bachelor's degrees, they came through Glenville. But it took a little man without even a college education to say, look, these black boys need a school for themselves. I mean, that Dr. Whatchamacallit, he was the principal over there, Lincoln. He was the principal over at Glenville. He had a doctor's degree. He didn't see the need. And then here's the little man named Ted Ginn, walking the hallways, talking to the boys, helping them out. And then he started coaching over there. You see, and then when his boy got up and made the pros, he got the financial money to open up a school.
Right.
For these boys. The doctor's degrees, they didn't care. The master degrees, they walked on. The bachelor's degrees, they stirred around for a while, but they didn't stay till after school to teach these kids nothing. It took somebody who didn't have no degree, who just had love, to educate. And the most powerful thing you can do in this life is educate. Educate. Teach somebody who don't know something that they didn't know, that when they get to know it, they can do something. That's the most powerful position you can take as a human being. All men should aspire to be an educator, especially when they come to young black children. Teach that child something. If you don't know to pick, take him to McDonald's, buy him a hamburger, teach him how to sit, how to fold his napkins, do something, but teach. You see what I'm saying? So this little man at Glenville took it upon his shoulder. And I'm going to tell you something. This man have made more millionaires without a bachelor's degree than all them damn doctors downtown. You understand? He have made more millionaires. See? Hell, I know half of them, because half of them ran track for me. Now they're millionaires, living in big,
Right.
But I'm just saying. But everybody came through that. They see that the black boys was out in the street killing each other. They saw that they need something to bring them together with. School. You can't take nobody no further than you are. But true school is learning how to run each one of these institutions. Do you know right now, if you know how to run these institutions, if you know that right now, do you know that you'll be more qualified to talk about anything than these damn people they got to talk about they got doctor's degrees. Two people was arguing in church one day. the woman, she said, my picture got a BS degree. The other one said, mine got a master's degree. And the old woman walking past on the crutch. She said, that ain't nothing but some bullshit piled higher and deeper. That's all that is. Bullshit piled higher and because she know the reality, in the reality, you got to come back to deal with the earth. How you gonna make a live? Every culture in the United States, every culture in the world has to first deal with the earth. What do you know about the earth? How do you know how to work with the earth so you don't violate it? How do you know how to have clean water and don't pee and boo-boo in the damn water you drink? They got the damn thing out here on the lake. After they flush the toilet and take the water back out in the lake. They say, well, it take it 2 miles out. Well, don't you know, I know that if shit 2 miles out, it's going to come back this way. And you don't want, and then here they go, smart people now. Then they take a lot of chlorine and dump it in the water to kill the viruses. But don't you know you can't poop and drink out the same pool? This man, but now, the reason why they will not educate our children, first of all, they can't, because they don't know the truth. And the reason they won't let us get into the school and develop curriculums is because they're afraid. That when the young black boys get to thinking and creating and producing, they outproduce them. And that's why this old boy down in Florida, Cuckabell head sucker, we don't want no black curriculum. No, because if you had a black curriculum, you would, do you know 92% of the stuff created in the United States came through a black mind? Came through a black man. Now, what if all the boys were receiving equal chances to be educated and ability to develop their creative differences? Don't you see what this world look like? These boys, they can outthink. They outthink little white boys. They do.
I read about Thurgood Marshall that for his punishment he had to go in the basement and read. And when he was in the basement reading, that's why he learned how to read, because back then you couldn't read, but
and they won't teach.
And he was being punished. They would send him in the basement and he had to read.
Right.
And so when he did all that reading, that's why he learned and became a lawyer and did what was it? I read it. Board of Education versus
Brown versus.
See what I'm saying?
They don't.
But he was being punished though to read. That was his punishment.
Now y'all remember when Trump was running against Harris? And y'all know that word, when you call somebody something that you are, you know that that's a psychological in psychology. Projection. He projected onto Harris what he was. So he kept calling her dumb. Oh, she's dumb. She don't know nothing. And everybody in the world can see he's the dumbest man ever stepped foot on that stage. Right. But he projected, calling her dumb, and the dumb people he was projecting to, they believed him because they was like him. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? They was like him.
I think they care more about being white than right.
They do. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They think that, and yet every summer they lay on the beach trying to be black. Mm-hmm. See? And then yet, see, but anyway, if a man, this is knowledge.
You look good. Something good to see.
Knowledge, all knowledge comes from the ground. Ever since there was an early man, he had to learn how to deal with the earth. He had to learn how to deal with the earth. He had to learn how to deal with the elements. You see, in Africa, sometimes they don't wear clothes like we do. But why do we wear clothes up here, Ted? Because it's cold. And so we learn how to adapt to this condition. This ain't realistically, if you look at our skin and our complexion and our characteristics, we basically from another warmer climate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we have adjusted to this. So a man have to learn how to adjust to what the earth gives him. So it don't make sense for color to be a thing because lizards, they change their colors because their lives depend on it. Snakes see a green frog, so he had to change his color to brown so the snake could camouflage itself. But out of all the things that need color, human beings don't need it because we can adjust to the climate. See? But out of all the creatures on earth, color makes more difference in the human family than it does anybody. I mean, what that woman, that religious woman, so I went out and seen the black cow eating green grass producing white milk. See, and a brown cow will go and mate with a black cow and they'll think about what color the calf gonna be. No, they didn't even raise it up. It's just human beings are that sick. Animals ain't that sick. So, how do we educate our children? Son, before you start an education, you got to make sure your child know two things. Two things. You got to know this. How to tell the truth and how to love people. If you don't know that, you can't educate him. He ain't going to be nothing but a wild boy in your house. That's all. If he don't tell you the truth and he don't love people, you might as well send him out on the highway. Because those two things get you entered into the university of life. Telling the truth and loving people. But Uncle Bubba don't know that. He don't know that. His whole thing is lying. Go ahead.
It's as simple as if I say, did you brush your teeth? You say, no, I didn't. Then I say, no, did you brush your teeth? And then he finally tell me he did. Or I go check and make sure he brushed his teeth. It's little stuff like that that people let slide. Yeah. They understand you can't do that kind of lie. Because once it started to be, let small lies go, then big lies don't mean nothing.
Right,
so it's just a small lie. Did you put your boots on? No, yeah, I did. I don't see your boots on your feet. You're lying. Quit lying. Yeah. We don't lie. And it don't work.
And you know the truth about it, that when people come to me lying, I know who's lying to me. Because physiologically, you got to accent your cortex before you tell a lie.
What you mean? What you mean?
Accent your cortex. Here's what I mean. If a person tells you a lie, before they lie to you, they look up to the left corner there. They'll look up like this. Because you got to look up like this to think of a thought to cover the lie you're finna tell. So you have to accent your cortex. So I know when people lie to me. And then the stuff they tell me don't line up.
It don't even be that. It be also you ask them something and they stalling. That stalling. That buying that time to respond is you buying yourself time
to think
to lie.
That's what I mean by accessing your cortex.
Yeah.
You have to think of when am I going to say.
You buying time to lie.
One more time.
Yes. Like
quick and slick is what I call it.
Public school ain't gonna teach your child that. Your child can get all A's in public school and still come out not knowing how to run development and administrative institutions. You see, you know what I mean? Your child, he can be smartest thing in the class, but then you get him out against nature. He don't know nothing. I used to take kids from the inner city, and we used to go out to Camp Connelia, all out there, and we used to camp out overnight, pitch tents. Do you know the kids that wasn't doing good in school did the best in the woods? And the one who was scared out in the woods, those were the ones doing good in school. I'm telling you. You got to educate your child to nature. Be quiet. Because nature, he's going to be in nature until he dies. See? He ain't going to be up in no white man's house. Big old mansion somewhere. Laying up. He's got to learn how to deal. And in nature come the product of what you need to develop. Or what you need to develop to start your life.
Come on, baby. You so got.
I can't take him this.
No, that was Pops. That was Al.
Oh, okay. I got it.
See, do y'all know, again, do y'all know everything below the ground, everything above the ground come from the ground? Show me something in this room didn't come from the ground. Anything, just show me anything that didn't come from the ground. Anything, I don't care what you, metal come from the ground. These benches come from the ground. That sand come from the ground. All that telephone come from the earth. Everything above the earth come from the earth. But you have not been taught in one lesson in your school how to take that from the earth to process the material. Now, can you say you was educated? That's why I tell them doctors downtown, call themselves doctors. I said, you're a doctor of what? You're a doctor of BS. And they get mad with me because they do. But then when I go on to question them, they can't answer the question. Like my mama shot my gun. What can you do, Ernie? I said, Ma, I can talk. She said, hell, you was talking before you left home. And I kind of looked at her at the corner of my eye. And then I had to admit, had to go back to what? To the truth. I said, Mom, you're telling the truth. 8th grade education. Here I am coming out with a college education, think I know something. And the little 8th grade education said, you can't run no electric lines. You don't build houses. You don't make cars. You don't make clothes. What do you do? And there ain't but 7 businesses in the world. Clothes making, food farming, house building, and tool making.
You said 7?
7.
So there's 7 streams of income?
There's 7 businesses. You understand? Clothes making, you making clothes, and that includes wholesaling them and all that.
He said 7.
7.
Did you hear 7? I heard 7.
You making clothes, you building, making tools, you building houses, and you processing food. And then the other 3, transportation, communication, and social services. That's all they do in the whole world. That's all they do everywhere. Ghana, England, everywhere. That's what they do everywhere. And do you know, let me show you. I don't know white boys be talking crazy about the black man, but do you know what made America great? What brought America into financial promise? What do you think, Ted? That brought America into financial promise. What do you think, Al?
Oh, cotton.
Cotton.
Clothes.
Cotton. Yes, it did. America was nothing until black folks started producing cotton for America. And then America rose up and got on the map. We made America great without picking, and yet we never got paid for it. And yet this bubble up, balloon head man at the head, lying president, he never thought of offering us compensation for our labor. He don't even want us to get an education. Look, I know Lil Ed, a friend of mine, he was a pimp. Oh, he was a pimp. He had about 6 or 7 women in his so-called stable, right? He didn't even want these women at the house when he was gone. He didn't want them going and getting nothing to eat when he was gone. He didn't want them doing nothing unless he could see them. He was that insecure about his pimping abilities that he made them stay in the room while he was gone. Then at night he'd take them out, get them in his car, then take them, let them work for him. That insecure, and that's what they want the black man, to stay in a position where I can use you, and when I can't use you no more, but you can use them if they went to college, your college. Because if a man can define the circumference of your knowledge, he can determine the radius of your activity. And you went to my college, I know what you can do. Why? Because I taught you. But if you go into this college to teach how to run, develop, maintain, and administrate these institutions, you got power on me. Because I don't know this. And the only part about this he knows the part where he cheats you. Sure, he'll make a car for you, sell it to you 5 times the cost. See what I'm saying?
So you think that's why they was assassinated, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, because they was leading people
Absolutely.
to take care of themselves more than follow?
If a man, like I said, if a man got prostitutes, right, and I come down and start educating this prostitute to get away from him, hell, he'll put a hit out on me too. Why? Because I'm cutting off his money.
Right, supply.
I'm cutting off his money. And see, and like I said before, all of those Arabs, not Arabs, I'm sorry, I apologize. All of those Palestinians who was protesting against Harris, telling me she gonna do this and she gonna do that. Trump got up today and said, I'm taking Gaza. You think He was talking about, I'm taking Gaza. We're going to make it to the United States. Where they at now? They ain't even protesting. Little vipers. But they protest the sister who want to do right by them. But here come the devil who won't. And they ain't even raised their damn mouths.
Nope.
And I'm going to tell you, I may have, but I've never been with them. I've never seen them come out to a protest that I've been in. I wouldn't help them protest. But they don't come out for our issues. You ever see them come up for a black issue?
Once in a while.
What's it? But for the most part,
Well, who would you say?
the
What?
Palestinians.
Oh, no, not really. Not
Yeah.
really.
They don't come out loud. But when they start hurting, then they want, y'all come up, we gotta go protest. We gotta go, no, you can't go, you vote for, you won't vote for the sister who wanna do you right, but for the sucker who's talking about taking you back to your country, you vote, and the Spanish people, and the Spanish. I heard some saying, I'm voting for Trump, I'm voting for Trump. Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna have your mama, your daddy, your grandmama cross that damn border. And he's doing it now. And if you voted for him and look me in the face through the camera, shame on you. You had it coming.
True.
You had it coming. Because you wasn't intelligent enough to look out after your own interests. You had it coming. And he can take you, far south he can take you.
Because they got mixed families, because, you know, maybe some of them are born here.
But Trump said, hey, you got to go.
Yeah.
Trump tried to get most Negroes out of here. He said they didn't come in rightly as citizens. They were brought here. That's what he's talking about now. Even though he was born here, he said that don't make us no natural citizens. Well, I said that. Well, he got to send his wife back first and her family. Surely if we ain't citizens, and him and his daddy, they ain't but 3 or 4 generations over here, he ain't got to go back. Man, we was over here before any white person ever seen this land. And to show you the signs that we left Olmec heads, North America, Olmec heads in South America. Just show you the signs that we was here. Y'all ever see the Olmec head?
Yeah.
It was signs that we was here thousands of years before they got here. Now he want to send somebody back. Send your mama back. I don't mean to be, but he's a curse to this country. He's a curse. Education. You can dub me if you want. You can say, I don't want to hear what Harris got to say. I don't want to hear none of that. He's crazy. But if you don't teach your child how to run, develop, and administrate these institutions, he ain't gonna know how to produce family. He ain't gonna know how to produce his institutions in his house. He ain't gonna know how to develop his neighborhood. He won't know how to use his church for what it was used for, or hold his political people accountable for what they're supposed to do. School. That's the last institution. Our Father, theology, church. That church teaches principle. That's why our kids killing these things. They haven't been taught principle. They haven't been taught principle. And if they out there shooting, killing, you know what they want to, if they want to get you killed, you know what they do? They get a little 12, 13-year-old boy to do it. They do it in Chicago. And this little boy come up, he don't know. He ain't got his little morals and stuff straight. This little boy come up and he kill you in a minute. He don't know what life is. Because he hasn't been taught principles. But had his dad that took him to a church and sat him down and listened to the minister talk about principles, then that child said, no, I know how to make a decision. That ain't right. See, that's what dad is about. A kingdom come, government, signs by which they establish order. East Cleveland can't get no order. Why? Because they don't know how to run government. I don't mean to talk about your own time. I really don't. But I gotta call it like I see it. They up there now fussing on who gonna be a mayor. Who gonna? They got rid of one, and they waiting for another personality to come through there and do what he does. I told what's her name? She's a friend of mine. We had a radio program together. I said, baby, you got to learn what you know what government is and how it functions before you go up there running up at the mountain. I said, because if you do it, everybody gonna know that you don't know. She listened. She went up and run up at the mountain, and now everybody knows she don't know government. Give us bread. Give us great science of ecology. It's an institution of business. Do the work. That's how we learn how to do work. Forgive us as we forgive. Science of clinic. It's a science of psychology, clinic, and it teaches health. Lead us not into temptation. That's the science of biology. That's the institution of home, and it produces procreation. But deliver us from evil. That's the science of anthropology, which is the study of man, and that's the institution of school, and school render knowledge. That's what this do. That's what this do. Now, you may live in, I'm so glad, and I'm going to finish up, but I'm so glad that God didn't let me die before I seen and understood this. I'm so glad he let my eyes and my mind to comprehend it, but I couldn't comprehend it had I not been asking for it all my life. God put me in the company. You know what I met Reverend Bella? Who gave me this? You know when I met her? I was in Chicago on 63rd Street in South Park. I had my ball and go through the lane, playing basketball. I was getting ready to rock the guy to sleep. You know how they call it, rocking him to sleep. Little short man coming down the street and a preacher's uniform. So I had the ball. He said, let me see that ball. I threw it to him. You know, all because my mom told me to respect adults. So I threw it to him. He went in his pocket, he got a knife, and he cut the ball. I said, man, what you doing? He said, you know, to the church, Dr. King is in town. You ain't got no right to be playing no damn basketball. I said, well, little sucker got that much damn nerve, I better go to the church. So I went to the church. And from there, that's when it started. That's when I met him. And from there, he taught me the science of human and community development. And I've been teaching it ever since. I've been teaching it, and I see this as what I'm supposed to do on this earth until I die. And you know, if I had to do one person, and Al been here, but ain't been there but one student.
That's true.
I'm gonna teach it until I die. So I got a God assignment until I die. Any questions? I know sometimes I get a little tempered and go on, but to the point that it's so severe. What's happening to us is so severe, and people walk around, step over mess, and don't smell it and don't see it. See, we got to get out of that mode. It's mess on the ground. We got to clean it up. I can't keep walking down smelling mess and stepping in and act like I don't see it. And every human being with this mess that we're in now, God got something for each of us to do to get out of this thing. All right, any questions? If not, to people that's viewing, if you have any questions, just text them to me. And next week, if I get a chance, I'll try to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernie.
Thank